Okay, so here's how to overcome fear, how to deal with it. Fear does two big things that are negative. One is it feels bad by itself. And number two is it often will make you make bad decisions that then further reduce your happiness. So, three big things to do to overcome fear are number one, define the fear. Number two, define your action around it. And then the third thing is to talk to a friend or a mentor. So, one of the big problems with fear is that it often stays like in the land of the undefined, like it stays vague and you don't really know exactly what you're afraid of. You haven't looked at it straight on, dead on. And then once you do, a lot of times you realize that what you were afraid of is actually not realistic, or that at least it's something that you can handle or something that there's nothing you can do about it. So, first step is to get a piece of paper. Do this when you've had good rest, when you are in a like the time during the day where your brain is at its best, and start writing down everything that you're afraid of in this particular situation. I actually think it's a really good idea to write down your fears just in general. I do it in the morning. Tim Ferriss actually recommends morning pages where he just gets all of his thoughts and worries and stresses out onto paper first thing, and I think that's a really great idea. Get it out so it's not ill-defined, so it's not just kind of swimming around in the ether, and so you know what you're actually afraid of. But to bring it back specifically, my guess is you have a kind of a specific fear that you're dealing with, and the recommendation there is to everything you're afraid of as in terms of what you think might become an outcome for this particular fear, write it down. Write everything down. Everything you've been afraid to think of, afraid to face, write it down. Get it on paper. And then ask yourself, has anybody else ever handled this before? Has anybody else ever had to deal with this situation? Number two, could I handle it if I had to? Number three, how would I handle it if I had to? Which kind of segues into the next part, which is to define the action. And again, on this is actually a really good principle just in general. Anytime you're focused on something and then something else pops into your mind, the question to ask, I got this from David Allen, is does this require action? If it does, either get it on your action list or get it done if it's really fast, or get it into an inbox of some kind. Or but if it doesn't, then if it's already been taken care of, then leave it. So back to the fear, ask yourself, does this require me to do something? Or is there something I can do about this? And again, just sort of brain dump that list, get it out there and on paper so you can see it, so you can see what to do, and sort of organize for yourself kind of a battle plan on it, of what you need to do. So the combination of those two things, just acknowledging it, getting it out there so that you see it, and then searching for actions that you need to take. Maybe you need to get more information. Maybe you need to get educated on something. Maybe you just need to do something, have a conversation. Whatever it is, at least now you have some kind of plan for it, right? And then the third thing is to talk to a friend or mentor. I think friend is probably best if you've got one. If you don't, you need to go get one. You need to go get more than one. But call up your friend and say, hey, come over for coffee. I'll feed you dinner, breakfast, whatever. Want to get your advice on something. And when he comes over, talk to him about it. Just tell him about it. And the reason for this is because one of the reasons that fears are loom very large in our minds is because a lot of times we feel like we're having to deal with it alone. And when you don't feel that way anymore, it really elevates your mood, just your general happiness, but it also allows you to more effectively access the resources and the solutions that you need to handle the situation, whatever it may be. So define the fear, write down the list of everything that you can think of that you're afraid might happen because of this. Define your action if there is any action required, and then grab a friend, or if you don't have a friend, find someone who you think could specifically help you with a battle plan to get out of this. And if you do those three things, I think it'll help you a lot.